Hi everyone, this is Kat of Catalyst Holistic Life Coaching, bringing your life in alignment with you. I'm here today to do your weekly guidance reading for the week of June 1st through the 6th. We're already to June, halfway through the year, and it's been quite an interesting one to say the least. I have been really delving into the astrology of everything going on in our world, and just kind of, watching everything come together. And even with last week's reading, I really see now how the message is coming through in the more physical world now. And it's just kind of crazy to see all that really manifesting fully. And we're moving into an eclipse season, so emotions could be running even a little bit higher than they already are now. We have our lunar eclipse this Friday on the 5th in Sagittarius, which is all about expansion, looking towards the future, futuristic growth, fast movement, fire energy, and then going through a lunar eclipse, that's even more so like something really big has to be released. And this could kind of be this culmination of things needing to be let go of, things that are being brought to the surface. And so, saying that, coming to the vision that I had while meditating with the cards today, I saw a sort of tribe of people that lived by a river, and the women were collecting water. Well, I think most of them were women actually. They were collecting the water and carrying it into the fields. Everything was moving in a line. When they got to the fields, they were watering it, and some were planting and plowing, and some were harvesting and carrying baskets on their back. And then this, I don't know if I want to say it was like a warring tribe, but soldiers, men came in with their spears and were setting everything on fire, were destroying these things. And instead of, being met with grief, these women walked up to each soldier and embraced them and held them and loved them. And they laid down their weapons and they wept. And so that was really profound. Speaking into our civil unrest here in America. And it's hard to, with our own like protests and our own kind of war going on with everything. So that's an interesting message to come through for this week. And I feel like I want to say on a personal level, what it's touching on is these warring parts of ourselves that we have not integrated. These angry, destructive parts that are just wanting to be loved and accepted. I don't think it was just speaking to any one race. I don't think it was describing right or wrong. I think it was just speaking on this inner turmoil that we all do feel, and we're all being called to really actually embrace those parts of ourselves and let them come forward, let them be heard. Because even in the vision, they still, they still were destructive. They still destroyed everything, but the women were not angry and they were not grievous. They opened their hearts and opened their arms and allowed them to come in. So this could just be a bigger picture message about what we might be experiencing on a personal level. I don't think this is necessarily speaking to either side. So moving into the reading, I'm going to try to be, I don't really know what's going to come forward with that message, but I want to be, what's the word I'm looking for? I want to be understanding and delicate in the way that I do this reading, because it could really speak to what's going on right now. And I just want to say beforehand that this is not anything that's going to be partial to any political side. This is just coming straight in from spirit. So it is not anything of my personal opinion. It is just going to be what I'm seeing. So take it as you will. This is just a general reading for the collective. So this will be something that we could all feel on a certain level. This could be what's already happening right now, or it could be something that is coming into your awareness over the next period of time. So just be open to receiving. And if it does strike a chord with anything, you know, seeing what's there and being open to it, being receptive to it. Okay? All right, so I'm going to adjust just a little bit here. So this week I am using the Muse Tarot a little bit. I guess that makes sense now with the feminine. We're using an animal spirit guide this week, along with our crystals, our herbs, working our light, and an offering to the divine. Not as many cards this week, so this may go by a little bit faster, but we'll see what comes up. So wherever you are at, having a seat and taking a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth, letting yourself ground down and be fully present for what you are about to receive. Okay, so moving into our tarot, the first card we have is the Tower. That in and of itself really speaks loudly. A crumbling, a change, a shift, foundations being shaken up, hitting new ground, plummeting into the unknown. Yeah, the ideas that we thought we had before, the structures that we believed were working are coming down. They will not be the same. This was not working. It needed to come down for a reason. Nothing happens unless it needs to, for growth, for understanding. And this is that Tower moment. This is going to be the deciding factor in a lot of things in the future. So this Tower moment could be different for everyone. It could be different experiences. But this is moving in a totally different direction. This is coming down. This is not where we want to be anymore. We are starting fresh. We are starting somewhere completely new, completely unbound. And it is shaking us up, because this isn't an easy shift. This is just tumbling down. And you see there's one person that's just kind of falling at the whims and, you know, not even certain where they're going to land or if they're going to land upright. There is so much uncertainty, but we just know that it is coming down. But it needs to. That is the big thing. Okay, so next card we have is the Three of Inspiration. Three of Inspiration, or Three of Wands, is about looking at the bigger picture. Seeing how everything is tied together. You see, it's like a domino effect. So I think this crumbling is happening because we're needing to see what's really being affected. This isn't just going to be contained in one small area of our lives. This is going to be something that ripples outward and changes everything. And so we have to look at the bigger picture. We have to broaden our horizons and not be so focused on just one area that's being affected, but how is this affecting everything? Everything is going to change. And we have to look towards how we're going to create this better world, because the three is also kind of like looking out onto the next adventure, looking out towards the next big thing. So how I'm almost getting a sense of like Jupiter energy here, which we do have That Sagittarius, also like the fire sign, but Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. So I feel like that's that expansion. Like, we're needing to follow this effect outwardly. We're needing to not only do this inner work, this crumbling down, but we need to see how this is affecting everyone. We need to see how this is affecting the collective, this Tower moment. Okay. And then the next to last tarot card we have is the Two of Voices, or the Two of Swords. Things are at a stalemate right now. The Two of Swords has to do with a stalemate. We can't move in either direction. We are kind of stuck, but these women are also blindfolded. They don't have the full truth. The voices, the swords is about truth and the mind, and this is conflicting ideas. I feel like this is speaking really internally, and this internal effect is manifesting into all of this unrest. We feel this conflict. We feel so many emotions. They're all coming to the front. Everyone is feeling all of this right now. I feel it heavily just from everyone. And it's conflicting because this is like, whoa, this is like a really big change, but we're at this stalemate. We don't know what's better, because we don't know. We haven't done that, for us anyway, for my generation. We haven't done this sort of thing. And so when we're trying to look at the bigger picture and trying to decide, it's almost like when we start to look outside of ourselves, that's where the conflict comes in, because we're listening to kind of this old wounding. We're listening to these old patterns that were serving us before. But now is not the time to be at a standstill. Now is the time to really take that blindfold off. And, there's also this woman walking towards this door. And I feel like that's the knowledge that she's seeking. I feel like this is the answer, the enlightenment. And so we're being invited this week to really discover what this all means for us personally. How is our choice going to affect the bigger picture? What can we do instead of being passive and apathetic? We're not sure what side is good, what side is bad. The media is throwing in all of these things. There's, disease and civil unrest and inequality. All of these things just all of a sudden really bubbling up within the first 6 months of this year. And we're just kind of like at this standstill. We can't choose which way to go, because I feel like it's really a shock to our system. But we need to stop being blinded by false information and false ideas of ourselves, of our experience, false programming, things that have kept us disconnected from this bigger picture, things that have kept us more self-centered. And we need to make that choice. We really need to choose from the heart, from the inner knowing. We really need to accept this change. We may be sitting in fear. This can be a place of fearfulness. You're not wanting to make a decision because maybe you're afraid of rocking the boat a little bit too much. You're afraid for standing up for your beliefs because you feel like this is gonna, maybe isolate yourself or kind of separate you from others. But we can't be sitting in this, what's the word I'm looking for? We can't be sitting in this apathy of not caring or turning a blind eye. That's something else that's coming through. We can't ignore what's going on anymore. And this can be speaking collectively for those in power as well. Like, the power is crumbling, and now we're needing to look at coming together as a people, looking at our strengths and taking the blindfolds off of what we've been told originally and realizing that we have this potential to really step into our power and do better. So no longer turning a blind eye. That's something that's coming forward for some of you. Okay. I feel this heaviness right now, guys. I am sorry. I know it's a lot. I'm trying to be sensitive. That was the word I was looking for. I'm trying to be as sensitive as I can, but I do not want to take away from the truth of it as well. Okay. So, moving into our animal guide for the week, some animal medicine that we can work with is grasshopper spirit. Take a leap of faith. So, for some of you, this may not necessarily be speaking into this whole situation going on. You could be having your own personal tower moment in your life that you are starting to see how this is like rippling outward into your outer life, and you're kind of afraid of making this choice. And this is saying to take that leap in that new direction, take that leap of faith. For this, if this is speaking on a broader term, like, you know, some of us could be feeling really hopeless about this whole situation, and we're worried about what's happening to our brothers and sisters, you know, of every race and every city that is encountering these riots and whatnot. And so we're needing to have a little more faith, taking a leap of faith in a certain direction, trusting in something bigger than yourself, choosing to do what's right for you, even if it seems against the status quo, but choosing what you know is right in this big picture. How is your ripple effect going to affect those around you? Is it going to be something that stands them up or something that knocks them down? These are the kind of questions we need to be asking at this time. Okay. All right, so moving into our crystals for the week, crystal energies that can help, and these might be good to be wearing around, dealing with these energies or meditating with. Okay, so the first one we have is pearl and purity. So pearl is kind of like this youthful energy. It's in the feminine trinity, and it starts out as like the maiden or the young virgin. And so since it is kind of this thing about purity, it is also a sense of innocence, like coming to a clearing. And this tower moment could also be acting as a purifier. This is like, you know, kind of shadowy stuff. This could be that kind of dark energy just finally being let go. And this is really a sign that we're starting to purify and become lighter and more understanding, more empathetic. This could be giving way to more of that feminine energy. So this could be calling on some stuff that can help you this week, is finding ways to purify, keeping more of those negative energies out. So, you know, purifying your diet, purifying your water, purifying your intentions and your thoughts, finding a place of purity, not getting caught so much into this darkness, not feeling so trapped, but finding your place of center again. Okay. So then our next card we have for crystals is Rhodonite, or patience. Yeah, a lot of patience is being called for. Being patient with ourselves, being patient with the way that things are going. And patience is also, since this is kind of on that peach ray, that kind of pinkish ray, this is a form of self-love and also being loving to others. as you are experiencing this tower moment for yourself, being gentle and understanding. This could be a block that we are moving through. This could be a literal, like emotional or physical block that we are experiencing. This could also be a mental block, and we are needing to have the patience to allow it to pass. This could be something that we're needing to sit with and understand, and that could be where that purifying is really coming in and helping us, but learning to find our patience with others and ourselves this week. Okay. All right, moving into our crystal, or we just did crystals, my bad. Moving into our herbal medicine for the week, we do have a couple cards here. So the first one we have is the Four of Earth, or Willow. So the Four of Earth is about gathering resources and being kind of protective of our physical means. So this could be money, like, you know, taking care of your finances, as well as kind of like building a foundation. Like, this is not a week for a bunch of willy-nilly spending. This is gathering things together to create something, a container of sorts. So, you know, if this isn't necessarily money, this could be collecting, you know, means to an end of like, okay, how do I want to put something together? Like, say you are having this realization of what direction you do want to move in, you're wanting to make this impact, so you're saying, okay, how do I do this? And you are putting all the pieces together. You are weaving that basket together, if that makes sense. So this is also just, you know, warning not to be like too strict, and because sometimes this can be a representative of being really protective. So remember to kind of be in that heart space of, you know, working together as well, sharing the wealth in a lot of senses. Okay, so second card, lots of earth energy this week. So we have the Ace of Earth, or Nettle. So Nettle, I know, is kind of a nervine as well. And we do have that kind of butterfly energy. And this is also, since it is an Ace of Earth, this is an offering of opportunity. This could be a new financial wave coming in. This could be new support coming in. And you are getting this opportunity to take this leap. This tower moment could be a crumbling of your old life, and you are getting this new chance to be a part of something bigger than yourself. But you are kind of fearing making that decision because it's going to be, you know, it's something different. It's gonna be kind of a leap of faith. You may not know where you're heading, and so you're feeling very protective, but that's where that purity and patience comes in. Being patient with yourself, working diligently. So I'm going to read a little bit about Nettle because I am only just learning about it, and it has got a lot of great qualities. So health and wealth may begin with a sting. Tower moment. Take the next step, even if it hurts. Two of Swords. Let your gifts take root in the physical world. Okay, so you can take charge of your well-being with a bite, wildcraft nettle tips, and make pesto. So kind of like that spice, like you hear about that stinging nettle. Nettle tea is also really beneficial for kind of like stoking that fire as well. For women, it's used in quite a few like tonics for emotions. So it can be really grounding. It may be a little, you know, stingy, but for the most part, it is really good for kind of calming the nerves and helping out with that. So potentially finding some nettle tea. Nettle tea is awesome. I really like it. All right, so moving into our last few cards. So the card that will keep us connected with our light this week is the Akasha. Your guidance is divinely guided. So this tower moment could be this incoming message from the divine that's just kind of like shaking up your whole world. You're just like, whoa, Like, I thought I was doing things the way that I needed to, and this guidance is just like, nope, this is what you should be doing instead. And I don't want to say should, because we always have free will, but we have a tendency to make plans and then the universe just has other plans. So whatever incoming messages that you are getting, whatever you're being called towards, feeling that heart pull, follow that, stay with that. Okay. And that could be that eclipse, that lunar eclipse could really just be that big message of just like, wow, I really need to leave this behind and move on to something else. Okay, so moving on into our wild offerings, we have doubt. Offering all to the divine doesn't mean negativity never arises, but you can say, free me from this prison of doubt. I cast this burden to you. Show me your will and restore me to faith and confidence. Yeah, so not doubting yourself, not doubting this direction, not doubting that things aren't going to work out if this is speaking on a more broad term of everything that is going on. Not having our doubts in ourselves or that we can make a change, but seeing the inner work that we can do to make a difference. And again, that, negativity arises. We have our doubts, but continuing to take that leap forward, not staying stagnant, but continuing to move in a direction, making those choices. Okay, and so the last one we have is body. Show me, divine, how to love and fully care for this body. Please give me the radiant miracle of accepting my body as it is. So again, that's where I think that purity is coming in to speak, is if there is something that you feel is not helping with your energy, something could be really small, maybe like smoking cigarettes or eating too much sugar, too much caffeine, something that you think is kind of keeping you less clear and kind of in a little bit more of a bogged down state. Connecting with your body this week and seeing what kind of love and attention it needs. Maybe it just needs more nourishment. Maybe it needs more water. Could always go for some more water. Okay? All right. Yeah. Big shifts happening this week. And we already saw this starting to happen last week. And now it's just really fully just showing itself off into this outer world. And I feel like this is, again, from what I was understanding, this is just the unrest within ourselves. This is the things that are not integrated. And we're going to get that kind of wake-up call this week. So prepare for that. Be prepared, but don't be afraid of it. It's going to come either way. So, yes. So thank you for tuning in this week. I hope that resonated with you. If it did, feel free to like, subscribe, and share. You can also leave a comment. I love hearing your stories of how that resonated. I will be back later this week to do a full moon reading as well. And working on more materials. I'm back to teaching classes in the gym, in person, yay! But I am looking to keep some internet stuff going to connect with you guys even more, since things are limited and just finding new ideas. So I am hoping to integrate more of that content with you. So if you feel called to as well, you can book a private reading. Everything is donation based. If you would like to make a donation now, or tip, or buy me a tea, whatever, I will include my links below to my Cash Apps that you can do that. So many blessings. I wish you all safe and happy health. Take care of yourselves out there and be strong and be loving to each other. Okay? So I will talk to you later this week. Have a great night. Bye.